All right, this is my second attempt at a part 6. I started recording part 6, got 20 plus minutes in, and I just hated all the logic. It wasn't going to work. So where we're running into an issue is we can't, not with Playmaker anyways, we can't really sync arrays. So we got to get wicked clever on telling our of all the players what's in their hands. So I think I have a solution. I have a bunch of extra logic on here, I think. I can't remember what was from the previous episode. If we go look at card player, cards in hand, I'm just going to remove that. So if that was in part 5, I have now removed cards in hand. And then if we go to deck and we go in here, this is where we're giving it. And we're trying to broadcast an event. I don't think that was in part 5. I'm going to remove that. And I'm going to remove this. Build string, I don't think was in part 5. I'm going to remove that. I'm going to remove that. Okay. I think we're back to where we were in part 5. Okay. So, one problem we have here is that our players need to know which card. Oh, one of y'all just commented on part 5 of the video. Let's go see what the comment was. Oh, just a smiley face. Okay. I had somebody else comment the other day. Keep them coming. So I guess y'all are enjoying these tutorials. And I guess there's a reason why people are craving the card game, because it's a pain in the butt. So what we're going to do now is we need to go to our players. And I'm actually going to take this deck and I'm going to drop it on my player. Now, in this deck, I'm going to just go ahead and unpack the prefab, because I don't really want any of the logic. All I want is this deck of cards array. I don't want anything else. So I'm just going to come in here and I'm going to delete all those states. And I'm just going to call this empty. So at first glance, I know it's empty. And then my variables list, I wish by default it didn't go up like that so much. All these ones that are 0, I'm just going to get rid of. All I want, oh shoot. No, everything's 0. I want, did I actually, oh, I almost deleted it. That's what I want. All right, so I want to keep my deck of cards and then get rid of everything else. And I don't need that. Okay, deck of cards. So this has all the potential cards this deck could have. Oh, I'm still frustrated that my diamond is out of order. That's really frustrating. I'm not going to take the time to fix it, though. So why am I doing this? And this method is probably a good idea anyways, because let's say you're doing a trading card game. All the players' decks are going to be different. So you're probably going to have something on your player that is their deck, right? They're all going to have their own deck. We're all using a shared deck of cards for this scenario because we're using regular cards. But you're probably not going to do that in a trading card game. Everyone's going to have their own draw deck usually. So with this method, and if you think about, I don't know why I never thought about this before, in a lot of trading card games, the cards have like their own identifier on them. Like in one of the corners, it identifies what that card is, and there's like a little identifier. And so we're going to do that with our scriptable objects. You remember from like episode 1 or 2 in the series, the card scriptable object. I need to add a public int. And this is going to be just ID, is what I'm going to do for this. All right. And if we minimize this. And so now I'm going to have to go into my cards. And I need to add an ID to each of my cards. So what is the ID going to be? Well, in this scenario, what I'm going to do is if we go look at my deck, I'm just going to make my ID the index of the array. So my clubs are going to be 0 through 12. So if I go back to my project, go to my clubs, I'm going to do 0 through 12 here. All right, so I'll pause real quick. All right, so now if we look at all these 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Okay, so now if I go back to my deck and I look at the array, next up I have diamonds, which is going to be 0 through 11. Except my diamonds 4 is going to be out of order. All right, so my diamonds 4 is going to be 12. And then everything else is going to be wonky. So let me do those. All right, so you can see now my diamonds 0, 1, 2, 12, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. All right, so now what's next? If I go to my deck, I go to the array, after my diamonds, it is hearts. All right, so hearts is going to be next. So go to my project, go to my hearts, and I'm going to now do my hearts 0 through 12. All right, so I did my hearts, got 0 through 12. So that just leaves diamonds, right? So let's go to cards. Oh, shoot. No, I'm an idiot. It's not 0 through 12 on all of them because that's not what they're at. Oh my goodness, were y'all yelling and screaming at me? So sure, clubs are 0 through 12, but now I need to go in and add 12 to each of these. Which let's see if I go to my diamonds 1, if I go plus 12, boom, gotta dig that. Oh, but this one can't be 12 because this should be 13, right? Because 12 was my last club. So I need to add 13 to all of them? Would that make sense? Because this one would be 13. Yeah, so I got to add 13 to all of them because there's 13 before them. Yeah, so I'm going to go through all of my stuff now. I'm going to add 13 to the diamonds, and then I'm going to add 26 to the next, and so on and so forth. So there we go. I added 13 to each of my diamond values. So on my hearts, I should add 26 to each of these. So this one will be 26. And this one should be plus 26. I mean, I could have done that math, but so on and so forth is what I'm going to do. All right, so I've done my hearts. I'm up to index 38. Moving on to, last but not least, spades. So this should be index 39, and I'm just going to keep going up from here. I was stressing out that whole time because I'm like, I'm going to get to my final spade, and it's not going to say 52. And it doesn't. And I was like, oh no, I missed one. But no, because the first index is 0. So my last index should be 51. So now I've assigned all my cards IDs based on these deck values. So something is off because my last spade should actually be 50. Good gravy. What have I done wrong? You know what I'm going to do? I would have to go back and adjust them all by 1. Rather than doing that, I'm just going to put this 4 of diamonds back where it should go. I'll just have to fix my diamonds IDs, and then I'll be good to go. So I'm just going to redo this array, and I'll have to do it on my deck prefab too. All right, so this is my deck prefab. As you can see, I got my 4 diamonds back up where it should be, all the way down to spades 13. So I think that's good. But now I need to go back to my player and this deck I was using, right? I got to delete that because it had the bad array. And I'm going to bring this deck back in here and unpack the prefab. And I also don't need this junk under it. And then I go back here into the FSM. Don't need any of you. Call this empty. And then my variables, the only variable I'm going to keep is that, well, get rid of this, get rid of that, get rid of that, get rid of that. I just want that deck of cards right there. So boom, 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 boom. Boom. So now this deck of cards should match the other one. Clubs 1 through whatever, diamonds 1 through wherever, hearts, spades, good. Okay, so now I need to go back to my scriptable objects. And then I need to go to my cards. I need to go to my diamonds. And this is now going to be 16. So let me fix all of these. I got to bump them all up. So my diamonds are now 13 through 25. And if I go to my hearts, 26 would be next, up through 38. And spades, 39 through 51. All right, golden. All right, where are we at? We're at less than 10 minutes. We're hitting the 10-minute mark now. I think we'll go just a little bit further. Actually, you know what? Let's stop. We'll stop here. It's going to be a really short one just to show that I added these IDs. Part 7 will go in and show, now that we have these IDs, how is that going to help us deal them to each player?